What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MULN stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video I will answer some of your questions that were asked right after I made my previous video. And I have to say that these questions are very reasonable and they disclose more information directly related to probably stealing the money from existing shareholders by David Michery. And let's start with this news. On my previous video, I've showed you this information that was published on fintel.io, and I showed you that David Michery owned about 64.7% of the company. And the main question from one of my viewers was that if we add up all these numbers, the total percentage of ownership will be more than 115%. And how it is possible? Let me show you this article. We are on investopedia.com and this article was published about a year ago and it's titled "How can institutional holdings be more than 100%?" And let me quote you this. If you see investors hold more than 100% of a company's shares, you should assume there is a problem with the data. And two main reasons why it might happen. It might be due to a delay in updates, and second one, another reason for exceeding the 100% holding mark may stem from short selling between investors. And let me quote you this information further. The first and usually most obvious reason to explain why an institutional investor holds more than 100% of a company's shares stems from delays in updating publicly available data. The numbers presented are updated on a monthly basis with a lag of approximately 4 weeks. As a result, even a slight delay in the reporting dates among one or more institutions could throw off the count, making it appear as though one shareholder or investor holds more than 100% of a company's outstanding shares. And the second reason is short selling. And here is the example of one of the most likely causes of distorted institutional holdings percentages. Let's assume company XYZ has 20 million shares outstanding and institution A owns all 20 million. In a shorting transaction, institution B borrows 5 million of these shares from institution A, then sells them to institution C. If both A and C claim ownership of the shares shorted by B, the institutional ownership of the company XYZ could be reported as 25 million shares. In this case, institutional holdings may be incorrectly reported as more than 100%. And this is two main reasons why we can see this higher number of ownership by main institutions, as you can see. And I have to say that right here, David Michery, at the very end of 2021, he owned about 22.9 million shares of Mullen Automotive. And let me show you this information. We are on insider trading list of this company, and I marked all the transactions that were made by David Michery. As you can see right here, at the very end of 2021, he owned not more than 7.4 million shares of Mullen Automotive. And definitely this is also a misleading information from C-level executives. And definitely we might consider that if they have this type of garbage in their official documents, what garbage might be with their real production. And definitely nobody wants to be a part of these type of companies. So, and definitely if we will take a look on the number of shares that Mr. David Michery owns right now, we might see not more than 8.9 million shares. So let me show you the latest filings. It was made, let me find this information for you. June the 30th, he owned about 6.9 million shares, almost 7 million shares of common stock. And let me show you the total number of their shares according to Google data is 332.44 million. This means you might think that he cannot influence on the decisions of the board of directors. But let me show you again this document, and let me remind you that it was published on June 24th and it is a 14A form. And let me show you this proposal number 4, description of performance stock award agreement. On April 29, 2022, the Compensation Committee anonymously approved the recommendation to the Board of Directors, and on May 5, 2022, the Board of Directors approved the grant of Performance Equity Awards to David Michery, the company's Chief Executive Officer. And I covered these milestones in my previous video, and definitely it is a huge dilution of 2% of total shares outstanding up to 5% for certain so-called achievements. And I have to say that it is not the real milestones that you should be aware of. And let me show you another information. On page 40 on the same document, right here, let me find it for you. Here is the security ownership of certain beneficial owners and management. And let me show you that right here you can find the total voting power of insiders who owns different types of stocks. And David Michery has the highest influential power of 29.8% of total voting power. This means he still has an ability to make the decisions and to approve certain decisions with the Board of Directors. And he has the highest power, and that's why he still has the ability to dilute the existing shareholders by receiving a lot of shares by stock-based compensation, and he can sell these shares. Let me show you. As you can see right here, from the beginning of 2022, he received more than 2.2 million shares, and he didn't buy any of them. He sold a bunch of his stakes, as you can see right here, and he gifted another huge number of shares of more than, as you can see right here, more than 1.5 million shares. So, do you want to be a part of this company that basically dilutes the existing shareholders, and they don't have any products, they have only bold and misleading statements, and they claimed that they have a lot of money on balance sheet, but this number is only $61 million. As you can see right here, $61 million. But back in March, they reported that they have about $65 million on their balance sheet. And you cannot spend about $4 million as an automotive manufacturer when you claim that you are producing the real vehicles. This is extremely high capital expenditure industry, and that's why just be cautious with any position of Mullen. So I think I don't have enough time to make any technical breakdowns of this asset, and I have to say that since I made my previous video, we have long holidays. That's why I will do another update in just a couple of days, and then I will show you what should we expect next from the technical standpoint. So if you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack.